making a living at being fake news. It's the nice guys on business. 3 days a week, they're able to hold it together. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. Adults need not apply. No interviews, lots of ranting, and they sometimes stumble onto something useful. Go figure. Now it's time for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery themselves, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
You know, it's so strange to be here 3 minutes early, and I'm like, I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, it's 6 o'clock straight up. I mean, the appointment is at 6, but Doug's not here yet. Like, it's so unlike him to get here exactly at the moment that the meeting starts.
I was putting out a small fire, which really isn't a fire. It's just somebody that just doesn't understand. Why would anybody ever hire a web designer that doesn't know web design? I mean, what's the deal? Why would anybody want that person on their team? I mean,
I may need details of this. I'm very curious.
Well, I will be happy to give you details. I don't want to name drop here at all, in case we do have a fan in any of our people. But this definitely is just one of those weird situations that, let me say, for example, that let's just assume for the sake of argument for just a second that you were an accountant, Strickland. Okay. You're an accountant.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
And you do taxes probably on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I would say to you, hey, as your client, if I'm your client, I'm going to say, hey, Strick, you being my accountant and all, when will we file the what is it called? A 1040? What's the name of the form that you file at the end of the year?
I don't know. Like,
now, as my accountant, that's a horrible answer.
Yeah, right. True. Okay.
So if I were to say to you as a web designer, look, you just have to drop in this HTML code, and I'm just like a third party out here on the side and saying HTML code. They're like, well, how do I get that code? And what is that code exactly? I'm like, aren't you a designer? Isn't your job to like do web stuff and tech? Aren't you being hired by our client to do web stuff? And I'm not a web guy. I'm just a fucking podcast producer. What the hell do I know about web stuff?
So did they say what is the HTML? I gave
them everything, and they're still asking questions, and I'm like, you have gotten me to the end of my knowledge rope. I am just now hanging here. I don't know how to guide you any more than I have already guided you.
Yeah, this is the problem with us agreeing to do things that are outside of our zone of genius.
100% agree. 100% agree. And when you say, look, this is why we don't do this because we're not web designers, we're podcast producers, why does there have to be more questions on the other side of that say, yeah, I understand that, but could you just tell me a little bit more? I'm like, did you just hear what I said?
But I need my podcast on my website. Like, I don't understand why you can't do that. It is a podcast, and you guys are running my podcast, so you should be able to figure out how to get it on my website, right?
This is exactly the problem, and exactly why you just hit it right on the head. You're like, this is why we don't go down that slope. Now, when we had somebody on our team that could support somebody that would do that, it was easy to be able to answer that question until it goes one step deeper than their knowledge went. And then you start to, well, you've done this and you've done that. So it's almost better for us to say, look, you need your cover art done. We are not designers. We can create cover art for you. Here's 3 fonts and two pieces of clip art. If it's not that, do it yourself. We love you and we will help you, but we can't help you any more than that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back. My name's Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler.
I have to find this email that I got today because I think you'll really like this email. So let me find it. So I get this email, and this is an email that's out of the blue. This is not like I didn't solicit anybody. I didn't connect with anybody on LinkedIn. I didn't trigger any top part of the funnel. I don't think I did, at least. Hey, Doug. I hope this email finds you well. Quick introduction. My name is Beep, and I am the managing partner here at Beep. My partner and I are serial tech entrepreneurs running a medium-sized M&A firm. We buy and partner with businesses like Turnkey Podcast Productions and grow them, adding to our portfolio of companies. Would love we love what Turnkey Podcast Production does and would love to see if there's a way to invest in or purchase the business. Feel free for a quick call later this week or early next. Looking forward to it. Okay. Now, all right. So I don't know who this person is. He definitely doesn't have like any we're a privately held company. It's not like we have, public numbers or anything like that. So I sent him back an email and I said, interesting, very interesting. What was it about Turnkey that attracted you? Curious what your pre-qualifier was for reaching out. I'm open to chatting, but prior to meeting, share with me your 35,000 foot thoughts about us. I'm like, all right, well,
yeah.
So do we want to sell? Are we interested?
Total spam, which it probably is. He should have some good answer for that.
I would think there's got to be an answer that hopefully will be a good answer that will entice me to want more, other than commission-based lead generation.
Oh my God!
Right? It's like I'm like, can't when I reach out to somebody on LinkedIn or am soliciting somebody, there is no hidden agenda. My agenda is right there on the table. I own a podcast production company. It looks like you have a podcast. Would you be interested in figuring out how we could work together so I can help you make money with your podcast if you're not making any money right now? Now, that's pretty clear. It's like I'm about to ask you if you want to, buy a service that I'm selling. Other than saying my service is X amount of dollars, would you be interested in investing in it so that we can help you market or do whatever with your company? Would you be open to it? At least I'm somewhat giving them the information without giving them the entire story, because you don't want to leave all of your cards on the table up front. But it's like, where did this guy get his information about us?
Well, did he reply back to you?
No, not yet. I'm waiting.
I am curious to hear about that, because if he wants to pay us like $5 million for Turnkey, I'm open to sell.
Is that what your number is?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
So it's not. So now so you're not a hooker. We're just negotiating. We've already established that we're just negotiating.
So how about I buy the business for $100? What do you think we are, idiots? Oh no, we've already established that. Now we're just negotiating.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Well, I have really been enjoying this week of business. I feel like we are in a growth mode right now, and things are moving along at a pretty good pace. I spoke to our new accountant today. He's setting us up for payroll, Strickland. We're actually going to get.
Heard that. What the hell's payroll? We can actually get paid from this company. That'll be amazing.
We're going to get a check, $4.72 after taxes. It's not going to be much, but we'll still get a check. God, I almost feel like this is a legitimate organization that we are. Crazy, right? Who are these owners of this company? I gotta talk to them.
Oh my! So, what else exciting has been going on in your life or in anything?
Well, let's see. In my life, JJ had somebody here at the house this week. She was doing a VIP session with them, so I make myself scarce during those times, or I just go into my servant mode. That's totally fine. When you were married, for the long time that you were, your ex-wife, that was never like you guys. She was never self-employed, right?
No.
And is this your first venture into self-employment?
Technically, sort of, yeah. I mean, there were a couple of other businesses that I tried, side hustles casually, that never really did much of anything. But yeah, kind of.
Well, for example, let's mention the Guy's Guide to Las Vegas.
Guide to Las Vegas, yes.
That was good. There's a terrific example of a really good idea that nobody else thought was a really good idea.
I was the only one that thought it was a good idea. Exactly.
It was a good idea too. It was like an insider's guide to Las Vegas, but nobody else felt like it was. I hate when you have like this really good brainchild and just nobody buys into it.
I know, because they're all so stupid. Exactly.
Well, they're not stupid ideas. Look, if I think that most ideas come out of the idea factory half baked. And our job is to fully bake them as the idea is evolving. And unless you have some big dollars behind you, it really is just tenacity, perseverance, and you stick-to-itiveness that makes an idea happen. Now, I do think in the case of A Guy's Guide to Las Vegas, I think it probably could have been an idea that would have been successful if you, like, look, we've been doing the Nice Guys on Business for 7 years, over 7 years, 7.5 years now, or 7 years and a few months. The business of Turnkey came out as a direct result of us coming up with so many fucking stupid ideas for 2 years.
True. Very good point. Yeah.
I mean, we tried. Turnkey originally was not what we do now, because we thought, well, who would want to hire us to do podcast production? I mean, it seems to be like a business that I don't want to, it's a race to the bottom. It's as a commodity. But no, we've actually evolved into something that's really cool. And we have 70 clients that seem to agree.
That's crazy.
And I love it. But so your real first dive into a large scale self-employment business was Turnkey.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You've gotten fucking spoiled, man, because
I know, right?
This is it.
I totally have. I agree. I totally have gotten spoiled.
So the whole idea of somebody being even remotely interested, even if it is spam, but just the email alone just kind of, piques my curiosity.
I love
What
that.
would our business be fucking worth?
I don't know. I'd have to, there are calculations you can do for that, and I don't know what they are, but I could look it up. But,
I think it's that acronym, isn't it? Like EBITDA?
Well, EBITDA is your basic net profit earnings before taxes after. EBITDA is like basically net what you end up with at the end of the day after everything.
And don't they take all that number and then just multiply that times X amount of times, and then that's where they come up? What's really cool about this business, and I don't know if it's 100% true, but what's really cool about where this business is going, if it's not already here, is that the business does not require Strickland and Doug to be successful.
Well, but that was by design. I mean, we definitely specifically structured it to be not dependent on us. That's the whole point.
The challenge, though, is how are you going to get two boneheads, one guy to develop the systems and one guy to sell? Like, if this guy was interested, let's just blue sky this for a second. They talk to us and they're like, dude, we love your company. We really think that this is something that's worthwhile. We want to help you scale. We're going to need to hire a sales team and an IT department to really bolster and boost your back end and your customer facing sales and business development. Okay, but isn't that what you and I both do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wouldn't we need to train them how to do that, or do they just come in and just completely blow your business out of the water?
I have no idea. I think your first instinct is probably closer to correct. I think they're trying to sell you something. I really don't think that they actually want to buy the business, but it is an interesting thought. I'm very curious to see what he says back, but I don't want to think about it too hard because I'm quite sure your first instinct is correct, that he's just trying to sell you something.
Yeah, but then I think about it and I'm thinking, well, really wasn't our first instinct with Turnkey just to make a business that would actually do well? And didn't we just weren't we just dumb enough to stay with it until it actually started making money?
We just had to keep up with it and put a shitload of time into it before it actually started turning a profit. Yeah.
I think I did calculate that we both have spent more than 10,000 hours in this business, which actually does make us professionals at it. We are the experts.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All right, bring me up to date. Relationship update and house update. Do we have anything in the works for either one? I did see some stone on the front facade of your house.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. The house is coming along, so first week of August still. No relationship updates, still single, still hanging out. What else? I did look into our voicemail today, and it was very interesting because I didn't see any voicemails.
Oh shit! That's right. I did remember that.
I didn't see any voicemails, but I did find 3 recordings which were blasts from the past.
Oh my god! Nice Guy community, you're about to get an earful of fun.
Yeah. Are you all ready for this?
Oh my god! I forgot. I dropped those in there about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little longer than a week ago, and I forgot that they were in there. But Can we play the first one? Can we play them in the order that they are there? Because I don't even think we need to play that second one.
I don't know what order you put them in. It's not actually the intro. I think it was something else, wasn't it?
The three that I see right there.
Oh, Interview Connections ad.
I think
Club
actually
Blues.
Interview Connections is actually still a viable business, and I don't know that we should be playing that free.
Oh, you know, we should charge them.
I don't think we should be playing that one. It's not quite as exciting as the other two.
As this one is actually the Dollar Shave Club Blues.
All right,
now, this is like all the way back to like episode.
I know
200, 300.
I know.
Mantra Munchies. I know was episode 200 because they sponsored episode 200.
If you go and you search for them online right now, you don't even find a URL. It just sends you back to GoDaddy. It says, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I didn't check the URL, but I did do a Google search and I found Twitter and Facebook, neither of which have been updated since 2016. So,
my God, 6 years since it's been updated. All right, let's play the first one and the third one. And can you don't have to give the setup to the content, but can you give the setup to what this is exactly? Because I don't think we've been clear.
Well, you want this one, not the Dollar Shave Club one?
No, Dollar Shave Club. Let's play that one first.
Oh, okay. So
that's what I see. Sorry, I don't see anything else on my screen. I just see.
Yeah, well, this is, even though it says Nice Guys Intro, this is the Dollar Shave Club.
I don't even see what you're looking at. You must not have shared that screen.
Oh, did I share the wrong screen? Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, here, let's do that. Oh, wait a minute. Now I got to share sound. Oh, I did that already. Okay. There we go.
I am ready.
Oh, I see. You were looking over at my other screen.
Oh, yeah. Don't play the first one. Just play the second and the third. So everybody that's listening, Nice Guy community. So Strick and I built these commercials a couple of years ago, hoping in this particular case to get, is the one that says the Nice Guys intro, is that Dollar Shave Club?
Ignore that. Don't say the first and the third. Dollar Shave Club, Interview Connections, Mantra Munchies. Which ones do you want to hear?
Dollar Shave Club.
Okay, Dollar Shave Club right here. Hey, Doug, our sponsor today is the Dollar Shave Club. And I got to tell you, I think this is the greatest idea. What is that? What are you doing?
I'm doing a jingle. Is there a jingle that goes along with the Dollar Shave Club?
There wasn't a jingle. Is that like a kazoo jingle? Is that what you're doing?
Okay.
You could have at least grabbed your guitar, not your kazoo. Come on.
Oh, wait. Should I get my guitar? You want to do the Nice Guys Blues when it comes to Dollar? Hold on a second. Stand by. Hold on. I think this is a good idea. Okay, hold on a second. I didn't expect we were going here with this, but
I didn't either.
Pause for a second.
That's what live read is all about, right?
Yeah. Hit pause. What's so great about this is that we have not changed.
No, it's basically exactly the same thing that we're still doing now.
It's the same that we have always done.
Yeah.
I think we were tighter back then than we used to.
Yeah, I think we were too. I totally think we were then. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Back to the commercial.
Okay. Back to the commercial. The Dollar Shave Club. It's the way to go. If you gotta shave your face and you don't want to go to the store anymore. That's right, because you never have to go to the store and buy razors. They're going to send them to you immediately right to your doorstep. Yeah! I think the Dollar Shave Club is the greatest idea since the seedless watermelon, and maybe even better than the watermelon slicer. And you can get it for as little as $1 a month. Oh my God, that's so cheap. So go to dollarshaveclub.com right now.
Nice job, Strickland Bonner. Way to go.
It was not terrible, I guess. Where did you dig that up? Oh my God. And we just made that up as we went along, of course.
Oh, you know where I found that? I found that. So Marjorie is, as her final task with us, is moving the DougSandler.com website from Squarespace over to WordPress.
Oh, okay.
And this was on a hidden page along with the other two. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Well, it's the second best thing ever. It's only almost as good as this other commercial that we were so bad that we drove them out of business.
It's 3.5 minutes long.
Damn. We must have given them a lot of value, and she still complained about it. I don't even know if she ever paid for the bills. Should I go after her? You think I should?
No. I don't even remember what we charged her. Whatever it wasn't enough.
It was not enough. God, yeah. She teed off on us, didn't she?
I don't even remember, but I think so. So here, I'm going to play it, but we're not going to listen to the whole goddamn thing. There's no way.
Oh, okay. It's a good commercial, though.
Is it entertaining? For 3.5 minutes, it's entertaining?
Well, we'll let our Nice Guy community be the judge of that. Nice Guy community, just call us at 4242 DJ Doug if you would like us to play your commercial for... See, we're playing a commercial for a company that's not even in fucking business any longer.
Right? All you got to do is call in and say, play it for free. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, play it.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Doug, I'm here to talk about our sponsor today, Mantra Munchies. And I had to finish eating and put them down before I started this because they're so good.
You were like out of control on the 200th episode. You were just going after. I mean, you didn't even come up for air every once in a while. You know?
But, Doug, did you try them? They're so good. I was eating mostly the Goaty OG cookies, the Nice Guy Richer edition. And look, Doug, I am not a foo-foo like vegan and vegetarian. I mean, you've done the Whole30 and all that stuff. So you've done really healthy stuff for your body. Healthy to me is I only eat 2 pieces of pizza instead of 3, right? But it's so good. It doesn't matter. I love the fact that I can eat really healthy with Mantra Munchies and it's still tasty.
Where were all of these Mantra Munchies snacks and goody things when I was on my Whole30 program or any of the programs for that matter that I've had to go through?
I might actually do like a Whole30 program if I could eat this kind of stuff.
It's like you're eating cookie dough.
It is. They have the cookie dough creations, hempy fudge brownie flavor, chia chocolate coconut clusters, and I loved the Goaty OG cookies.
I don't even understand how one man could eat quite as many healthy things as you. They also have that stuff that you like sprinkle on. What is that one called? The Biomic Lens. Oh my gosh, deliciously sweet and creamy, no sugar, organic coconut milk creamer. Oh, so good.
So, the next day after we did our 200th episode live, I actually made a shake. Sometimes I'll make shakes with, healthy stuff in it. And I put the sweet and creamy in and it was so good.
So they have this thing called Super Saucy. Also,
oh yeah,
sassy seasoning for soups, salads, and sauces.
Saucy,
classy, sassy, mild, and super sassy, spicy. All you're doing is adding hot water for a deliciously creamy instant tomato soup, packed with so many good things. Strickland, I am starving.
Gluten-free, dairy-free, organic, raw ingredients, many vegan offerings. It's not everything is vegan, but a lot of it is vegan. But what's amazing is as soon as I hear all those things, I hear gluten-free, dairy-free, organic, raw ingredients, I think taste-free too, right? Like there's no taste to it. And this is totally not that.
No, it's like it's as tasteless as the paper that the actual copy was written on. And it's not that way at all. It's so much better than paper. Wait, that's not really saying a lot. Oh, but you got the cookie dough thing, oh God, so good. So
Kids like it better than Pop-Tarts.
They do?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Pop-Tarts.
They've done studies with thousands of children. No, they really haven't done studies.
Wait a minute. I don't think that's...
But I guarantee you my kids liked it better than Pop-Tarts. Well, they got the leftovers.
That is a winning testimonial. If you can get the triplets involved in anything that is health-related...
16-year-old girls? Yeah, you better believe it.
So I guess the important question is, how do I get a hold of any of these Mantra Munchies?
MantraMunchies.com. Or you can go to niceguysonbusiness.com and you can click the link there for Mantra Munchies.
Jeez. Or click the buy now button right at mantramunchies.com. I would just go right to them because then it's instant access to this amazing. I'm looking at like the creations they have on their website. So good. All right, let me get to this. Can I get to this?
It is snack food. Like you can do the cookie dough creations. It is great stuff to put into your smoothies. They also have hot mix stuff, which is like kind of like creamer. Basically, you don't put creamer in your coffee. Instead, you put this really healthy hot mix.
Good
sauces.
Stuff.
It's so good.
Good stuff. Mantra Munchies. You get yours. I'll get mine. Bye now.
Dude, what was it that she didn't like? Hey, by the way, listeners, for those of you who want to buy these Mantra Munchies,
sorry,
they're fucking out of business. They don't exist anymore. Was it something about our ad? Like, did we say it looked like a little ball of turd or something? Was that her problem?
We said it looked like dirt. And she got so mad. She really got mad. She's like, people eat with their eyes first. Like, oh, fuck. God.
That's a great ad. I got to tell you, I would be fucking happy. If you got a product, send your product over to us, give us some free, whatever it may be, and we'll fucking do an ad just like that for you. And that'll be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
She paid for, I think, 30-second commercial. We droned on for 3.5 minutes. Yeah. And enthusiastically.
Very, very enthusiastically.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is just some of the different fun things that we have done in our career. It's been so jaded. It's so bad. All right. What else do we want to talk about? Do we have anything? Do we want to actually give our community a nice short episode this week and bail? Or do you have anything else that you would like to talk about, Strickland?
Okay. I don't want to get into politics, but I got to make one comment about the January 6th committee, because I know we have some listeners who are Trump fans and who still believe that, he's a good guy and he did not try to actually steal the election. And just very interesting. So there's a guy, Jeff Clark. Okay. So at the end of the Trump presidency, Bill Barr,
he was part of the Jeff Clark 5, wasn't he?
I'm feeling glad all over.
Ben Folds 5? No, not him. All right, whatever.
So Bill Barr was the Attorney General at the time. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the Attorney General is the Justice Department, right? The Justice Department is not supposed to take any leads or anything from the White House. Okay. They are supposed to be independent of each other. Well, Bill Barr, after the election, like a couple of weeks after the election, he basically made it clear to Trump that, dude, I'm not going to prosecute anything. I know you want me to, but I see no evidence of any election tampering. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this. And by the way, you're not supposed to ask me anyway. Okay. And basically, Trump was going to fire him, or had fired him. And he wanted to put in this guy, Jeff Clark. Okay. Now this guy, Jeff Clark, is a lawyer, but he's an environmental lawyer. And the thing is, I'm just going to read like a little quick quote from an article about Jeff Clark, because they interviewed this guy, Engel, who basically said, Engel, when Trump said, I want to hire Jeff Clark as the new Attorney General, it was specifically because Jeff Clark was like a buddy of his and would like open an investigation into election fraud, no questions asked, right? He was like already on board to do this, right? And so this guy, this is his testimony to the January 6th committee. He said, I made the point that Jeff Clark is not even competent to serve as the Attorney General. He's never been a criminal attorney. He's never conducted a criminal investigation in his life. He's never even been in front of a grand jury, much less a trial jury. He said, you're an environmental lawyer. How about you go back to your office and we'll call you when there's an oil spill? Says Engel, Donnie, who said in his Senate Judiciary interview, told Trump that everyone in the Justice Department would quit if he elevated Clark, and that Jeff Clark would be leading a graveyard. Now, Jeff Clark was subpoenaed by the January 6th committee in October to ask questions about, hey, Trump and the election, all that kind of stuff. He refused. He did not answer any questions during a deposition. So the committee recommended contempt charges.
He didn't answer any of the questions for fear of self-incrimination, right? Didn't he say that he pleaded the fifth?
Well, here's the deal. The first thing that happened was the committee subpoenaed him and said, we need you to come in and answer questions. And he refused. He basically said, I'm not coming in. Well, the committee said, hey, we're going to cite you for contempt and force you to come in. And so Clark said, okay, fine, I'll come in. And it was reported that he invoked the Fifth Amendment. In other words, he basically said, I will not answer that question under the grounds that I may incriminate myself more than 100 times. This is a guy who didn't even get appointed as the attorney general. He was somebody who might have possibly been appointed until the people around Trump said, "You're an idiot. This guy can't do the job." So he wasn't even part of the administration, but he still invoked the Fifth Amendment over 100 times when the committee asked him questions. He couldn't just say, okay.
That was a sign from God. That was a sign from God.
Because Zoom just kicked us out. But basically, Trump, this guy, to invoke the Fifth Amendment. I mean, seriously, when somebody asks you a question, you can just say, "I don't know." I mean, it's that easy. "I don't know." Or you can just say, "No." But no, he basically said, "I'm not going to answer that question because it may incriminate myself." Over 100 times.
I think the concern may have been more that he was going to incriminate Trump than it would be that he was going to incriminate himself. And that was a slippery slope for him. I felt for the guy because I don't know that he actually wanted to be in the position of attorney general. I just think that Trump wanted him in there so badly to do the work that he needed to do. He was willing to ignore the fact that the attorney general actually has to have some grand jury experience behind him, any experience, some trial jury, be in front of a jury once in your life in traffic court.
Right. Because do you know, he was making the point about a grand jury. Do you know how, if you're a lawyer, do you know what it means to go in front of a grand jury?
I do not. I think it's not actually in front of people, is it?
It is people, but the way it works is you basically, as a lawyer, you go in front of a grand jury and you say, "Hey, here is some of the evidence I have, and I would like to take this evidence and take this person to court. Do you feel that I have enough evidence to do that?" Now, this isn't, you have to prove that you're absolutely right or that it's good. It's an extremely low bar to basically say, "Here are a few facts that I have. Do you think that this would be okay to bring this to trial?" And the grand jury says either, "Yeah, I think that'd be okay," or "No." So it's not even like he's battling against another side or anything. I mean, it's a very low bar. He hadn't even ever done that. He's never done a criminal investigation, which is exactly what the attorney general does. That's all the attorney general does. He's never done that before in his entire life. And the other part of the testimony I heard, and I haven't listened to all of it, but I read some about the Georgia electors. Basically, there were these phone calls where, Trump was like, I won Georgia by like 400,000 votes. I just need you to find 11,000. The elector in Georgia, he was a Republican, right? The guy that was in charge of the elections in Georgia, he basically said, "Mr. Trump, we have recounted 3 times. We have 6 million votes that have been machine counted. They have all been hand counted, and then they were machine counted again. And those 3 counts all came within like 1/1000% of each other. In other words, they found a handful of ballots that were incorrect out of 6 million. And he basically said, when you do a hand count, you expect to have a variance of up to about 0.5 to 1%. And 0.5 to 1% for, 6 million votes easily could have been, 100,000 votes or something. And he basically said there was no difference. And this is correct. I'm sorry that you don't, and there were no votes that came in after the deadline. You have no grounds for this.
What channel are you watching this series on? Are you episode 6 already? Where are you in the season?
Well, that's it. I'm letting it go because I haven't been watching them. I think they've had 3 of them televised so far, and they've each been 2 or 3 or 4 hours each.
I haven't been able to find. I've been looking. I don't have regular cable TV, and I've been looking on like Hulu and Netflix. I was thinking that it was on one of the like the networks like that.
CNN. I think it's on CNN. Fox chose not to show. Well, Fox didn't show the first one, but they showed.
How do you get CNN if you don't have cable? Can you still get it?
I don't know.
I remember seeing the first one somewhere, and then I'm like, fuck! I thought it was on Hulu originally, and I can't find it.
It's basically the bits and pieces that I've been seeing is that the evidence is just so ridiculously overwhelming. And the very interesting thing that this Georgia guy who was the head of electors there, he said he had an interesting conversation with a guy who was a lawyer, right? He was a lawyer in Georgia, so he knows the law. And basically the lawyer said, look, man, I know Georgia, and I know that Trump won Georgia. And he said, this is what we've done. He basically laid the facts out. And he says, yeah, but I know he won. And then he laid more facts out. And then he said, but it just doesn't feel right. And then he laid more facts out. And then the last thing this guy said, and this is an educated guy, he's a fucking lawyer. He basically said, I know in my heart that Trump won. And basically no amount of facts was going to turn it over. And that's the problem. When you so strongly believe in your heart that something is true for whatever reason, just because you want to believe it or because you've heard it from certain people so many times, it doesn't matter. The facts don't matter. And that's where I really feel like we are right now.
I think they canceled it on Hulu. I'm not 100% sure. At what point did we not turn this into a political episode?
Yeah, I know. I knew I should have stopped. I shouldn't have even opened that door. There were 66 lawsuits brought to different states about election fraud. Not one of them even went to trial. Like,
what's the?
It wasn't like there was a judge, and there were a bunch of these were brought to Trump-appointed judges, and the judges didn't say, you know what? I think I don't know that you're right. I think, but maybe possibly there's a case. Okay, let's take a listen. Every judge said this is fucking ridiculous. I'm not even going to take it to trial.
What is the end goal of the January 6th commission? What is the end goal for it?
So I believe the lofty goal, the big lofty goal would be to absolutely prove that Donald Trump broke the law and that he tried to steal the election. And if they prove that, then he would never be able to run for office again. I don't think that they really believe that's going to happen, but I think the lesser goal, the more realistic goal, is to at least inform the general public that, hey, guys, the Republicans are saying this is a total witch hunt and that they won't even talk to us because it's so ridiculous. But let me tell you something. 66 judges said there's no case for this. 850 people have been arrested. You guys are you just don't want to listen to the fucking facts. That's
is somebody going to be held accountable for the people that were killed, including the 4 police officers?
I doubt it. I mean, a lot of people have been arrested, people that actually stormed the Capitol. But nobody's getting charged for murder. I don't think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. We should just let it go now.
Okay. Let's let that go until next week. We'll have more Mantra Munchy commercials for you. We'll come up with something good for next week. All right. We got shit to talk about. I mean, off the air here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So let's just head out of here. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For Doug, Strickland, the Nice Guys on Business podcast, I'm Steve O'Brien. Yo, bartender, Jobo needs a refill.